All right, court calls case number 626-386, State of Texas versus Lorraine Sanchez. She on? Yes,
She's present, Judge. Counsel's present.
All right. Ms. Sanchez, can you hear me? Lorraine Sanchez, can you hear me? All right. We don't have any audio from her. I can see her.
Yes. Well, are you on a computer? Okay. Yeah, but on the bottom they have a little mute switch, or you can turn off the mute switch. Join voice. It'll have, you see a little mute thing? If it has a red on it, you can't hear it. So you click it. Yeah. Take it off of mute.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Sanchez, would you raise your right hand, please?
My right hand?
That's correct. Yes. You solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Ms. Sanchez, before we proceed, I need to discuss, you can put your hand down, ma'am. I need to discuss several things with you. Their constitutional rights and protections. The first one is you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to make any kind of statement. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to submit paperwork that has your signature, especially if it's a confession or admission to wrongdoing. Do you understand you have the right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
All right. You also have the right to a jury trial. That's 6 people from the community selected by your attorney and the state's attorney to hear the evidence and decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. You understand you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You also have the right to confront witnesses. That means if you have a trial, any witnesses, you can cross-examine, challenge them, ask them questions. Do you understand you have that right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
There's also what's called the right to appeal. That's a right where your attorney or you or the two of you can demand that a higher court review the official record and the evidence for whatever challenge you wanted to make. You understand you have the right to appeal?
Yes, sir.
There's also have this hearing in public open court. Because of the pandemic, we're not doing that. We're doing it by video conferencing. All right, and you have to agree to that. Now,
yes.
Do you understand you have those 5 rights that I mentioned to you?
Yes, sir.
And in order to do a plea, you're giving up those rights voluntarily and freely, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, I'm going to show you some documents. In the written documents, these rights, all 5 that are mentioned to you, are going to be repeated. And you will have reviewed them and signed them. And I just need to cover that with you during this proceeding. The first document you're going to see, all of them, in fact, with 1 or 2 exceptions, they're going to have what I call identifying information. At the top of the document, it'll have the case number, your name, the state of Texas versus Lorraine Sanchez, and the court number. Then it'll have the title of the document. You're being shown right now a document titled State's Consent to Video Conference. The titles of the documents are in bold print, all capitals. This one says State's
Sure.
Consent to Video Conference. They have the right to demand a public hearing in the public courtroom. They have signed, Ms. Caitlin Morgan has signed, agreeing to do this by video conference, which, by the way, is being showed on YouTube. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, this second document is, again, the identifying information. This is called the discovery acknowledgement. There's a particular law, it's called Article 39.14 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. That particular law requires that the state shows you or provides you receipts, documents, all the evidence necessary so that you and your attorney can make an informed and intelligent decision. The state and your attorney have signed this document saying that this law has been obeyed. Did you see and understand that document?
Yes, sir.
All right, this next document is called Defendant's Consent to Video Conference. We talked about that a moment ago. This is in writing. Do you see it and did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
And you signed it.
Yes, sir, I did.
All right. Next document is Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights in Court's Admonitions. Did you review this carefully with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ultimately, it says that you're going to enter a nolo contendere plea to the charge of fail to identify as a fugitive with the intent to give false information. Now, the rest of this document is divided into 15 sections or divisions. Each one is numbered. Number 1, it says that you understand that the range of punishment, the punishment for this offense is as a Class A, a fine from $0 to $4,000 and jail from 0 days to 1 year. Did you see and understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, now read for me number 2. Can you see it there? What does it say?
Yes, it says, I understand I have the right to a jury trial, a right to examination of a witness, and the right to remain silent. I freely and voluntarily waive giving up those rights.
Do you do that? Is that correct? Is that a true statement?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever had any mental health problems?
No, sir.
Have you ever been given or taken mental health medications?
A while back, like in 2000, yes,
Right.
and stuff like that.
Are you
So
taking anything
once
like
that was
that now?
closed. No, sir.
All right. Now, number 4 just says that you did review all of this with your attorney, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Number 4 says that you're going to plead nolo contendere, which is no contest, because after talking to your attorney, reviewing the evidence and information, you think it's in your best interest to do so. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you, for any reason, been involved with the sex offender registration program?
No, sir.
All right. Now, you made a deal with the state. Number 6, I want to make clear that I have the authority and the duty to decide whether I accept it. I have to agree, yes or no, on your plea bargain. If I reject your plea bargain, then the law would allow you to start all over again, and nothing you said or signed would be used if you started over. Same thing applies to if I give you a punishment that's greater than what you agreed to in any way, then you'd have the right to start all over. Did you see and understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Where were you born, ma'am?
In San Antonio, Texas.
All right, that I will note in the file in the record that you are a U.S. citizen. Now, some of these things
Yes,
apply
I
to
am.
you, some do not. All of these rights, number 15, by the way, says that you can request, or I have the duty to have a risk and needs assessment done for you unless you waive that right. And my understanding is that by signing this, you've agreed to waive that right. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. The next document is myself as a judge. I'm declaring to you, certifying to you, that if you look at these boxes stacked vertically, they all talk about a right of appeal. The 5th one, shown to you there at the top, it says this is a plea bargain case and the defendant has no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you have signed it, and so has your attorney, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, we have the application for, I think this is deferred, Ms. Morgan?
Your Honor, it'll be a JSAT.
Oh, okay, very good. All right. The next document, I believe, is the plea agreement.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, this is a plea agreement. This has a little bit different at the top. The identifying information does not have the court number. You got your name and the case number. Both of the first two boxes will be marked. The first one says that we've talked about and you read and understood the right to remain silent. Then there's the box that says that you are a U.S. citizen. Then there's 5 checked boxes. They all talk about the different rights and recommendations, rather the different rights and protections that you have. Did you see and understand those 5 declarations?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, your charge is a failure to identify, as read earlier. Your plea then officially is what?
My plea is no contest.
All right. A no contest plea, as I mentioned earlier, is sufficient for me to convict you. Do you understand that?
Yes, I really do, sir.
All right. As part of these proceedings, I order you to appear at the County Court of Law Number 5 offices. It is required that you have your thumbprint placed on documents. The office is in the hallway behind the courtroom. It's on the 4th floor of the Justice Center. Now, based on your plea and the evidence, I find that you are guilty. I sentence you to 28 days, Bexar County Jail, 0 fine, 0 court costs. You're granted credit for time served, time and money run concurrently. The court finds that you have satisfied that judgment, so you owe nothing further to the state or to this court, with the exception of having your thumbprint placed on it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This document is signed by the state's attorney, Ms. Morgan, your attorney, Mr. Langlois, and by yourself, or at least his initials. Any questions, Ms. Sanchez?
No, sir.
Mr. Langlois,
Yes, Your Honor.
any questions?
No, she is in Seguin presently, but she will be there as soon as she can, probably, what, tomorrow, next day, Lorraine?
For sure, we're leaving tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow if the weather's not bad.
Okay.
All right. And Ms.
Then
Morgan,
I go
any
to the
questions?
4th floor,
Yes, ma'am, you'll have to.
County Court 5.
That's correct.
Okay, yes, sir.
It's on the 4th floor.
There'll be people there that'll help you. Just tell them you need to go to the County Court 5. They'll direct you to go to the hallway behind the court and
Mhm.
fill in any information or signatures that might be missing, but do have your thumbprint placed on it.
My
okay?
footprint.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
prefer that you don't put your footprint, but put your thumbprint.